Learn to force yourself to achieve any goal. That's the challenge. That's the call. That's the standard you've got to set for your own life. Because if you wait for the perfect moment, if you wait until you feel ready, if you wait until everything is comfortable, you will never move. You will stay stuck in the same place, replaying the same excuses, living the same story, year after year. You don't need a new motivation. You don't need a new opportunity. You need to force yourself. You need to push yourself. You need to demand from yourself the kind of discipline that doesn't negotiate with weakness. There's something inside of you that already knows the difference between who you are right now and who you're meant to be. You feel it when you lay down at night, when you think about the dreams you once had, when you remember the promises you made to yourself. And the truth is, those promises are still alive, but they're buried under layers of doubt, procrastination, and fear. The way to dig them up, the way to breathe life back into them, is not to wait until you feel like it. It is to force yourself to say, I will move, I will act, I will work, even when I don't want to, even when it hurts, even when nobody claps for me. Because greatness does not belong to the comfortable. Success does not belong to the ones who only move when it's easy. It belongs to the ones who take the pain, who embrace the struggle, who wake up tired and still go, who feel doubt but still believe, who push when everything in their body says stop. That's what separates the dreamers from the achievers. Everybody dreams. Not everybody forces themselves to chase those dreams. Let me tell you this. If you only work when you're motivated, you'll never be consistent. And if you're not consistent, you'll never finish. You can start 100 times. You can have the best intentions. You can talk about your goals every single day. But if you don't develop the habit of forcing yourself past your feelings, you will never know the taste of true victory. Motivation is a spark, but discipline is the fire. And discipline is not born out of comfort. It is born out of force. You pull yourself out of bed when your body screams for more sleep. You put in the work when your mind says take a break. You show up when no one is watching, when no one is applauding, when no one even believes you. That's the secret nobody wants to hear. It's supposed to be hard. It's supposed to test you. It's supposed to stretch you until you feel like breaking, because that's where the transformation happens. The person you are right now is not strong enough to carry the weight of your dreams. You have to build that person. You have to create that strength. And the only way you do that is by forcing yourself into the fire again and again until the weakness burns away and what remains is unshakable. Think about every person you admire, every story that inspires you, every success that seems impossible. Behind it is someone who forced themselves when they didn't want to. Behind it is someone who worked when it was inconvenient. Behind it is someone who fought battles in silence. Battles no one else will ever see, battles against laziness, doubt, and fear. And they won not because they felt like it, not because life was easy, but because they refused to let weakness decide their future. You want a goal? Don't just write it down. Don't just speak it out loud. Don't just pray about it. Work it into your bones. Force it into your habits. Tie it to your identity. Make it who you are. Say to yourself, I don't stop when I'm tired, I stop when I'm done. Say, I don't listen to my feelings, I listen to my purpose. Say, I will drag myself through the mud if I have to, but I will not quit on myself. Because if you quit on yourself once, it becomes easier to quit again, and every time you quit, you teach yourself that weakness wins. But when you force yourself, when you say no to the excuses, when you push past the discomfort, you teach yourself that strength wins, and strength grows stronger the more you use it. People will doubt you. They will laugh at you. They will say it can't be done. And maybe part of you will want to believe them, because believing them is easier than fighting. But you weren't made for easy. You weren't made to coast. You were made to rise. And every single day that you force yourself, every single day that you refuse to quit, you are rising. You are proving them wrong. But more importantly, you are proving yourself right. Stop waiting for inspiration. Stop waiting for someone to push you. Stop waiting for a miracle. The miracle is you standing up, choosing to act, choosing to move forward no matter what. That's the miracle. And once you understand that, once you taste what it feels like to conquer yourself, nothing will ever be impossible again. Because if you can force yourself, you can do anything. Force yourself to study when your friends are partying. Force yourself to practice when no one is clapping. Force yourself to save when spending feels good. Force yourself to train when your muscles ache. Force yourself to speak up when fear tries to silence you. Force yourself to believe when doubt surrounds you. Do that long enough, and you'll wake up one day realizing that the life you wanted, the dream you prayed for, the success you imagined, it's yours. Not because it was handed to you, but because you forced yourself to claim it. And when you get there, when you stand at the top of the mountain, when you look back at the road you traveled, you won't remember the nights you felt tired. You won't remember the pain of pushing through. You won't remember the days you wanted to quit. You'll remember that you didn't. You'll remember that when it mattered most, you forced yourself. And that decision, that one decision to not listen to weakness, but to listen to strength, that decision changed everything. So hear me tonight. You already have what it takes. The dream is in you. The vision is in you. The ability is in you. But you must force yourself to bring it out. No one can do it for you. No one can walk the path for you. No one can carry the weight for you. You must do it. And you can. You will. You must. Force yourself and achieve any goal you set your mind to. Discipline beats motivation. That is a truth that will never fail, a truth that separates those who merely dream from those who actually achieve. Motivation is beautiful, it feels good, it sparks fire in your chest, but it is unreliable. Motivation comes and goes like the weather. One day it's sunny, the next day it's a storm. One day you wake up feeling inspired, ready to conquer the world. The next day you feel heavy, tired, uninterested. If you build your life around motivation, your life will look like motivation, up and down, on and off, start and stop, bursts of progress followed by long stretches of nothing. But discipline is different. Discipline is steady. Discipline is consistent. Discipline is the muscle that pulls you forward even when your feelings are pulling you back. Discipline is what you train when motivation fails you, and it will fail you more often than you think. You cannot wait to feel inspired. You cannot wait for the perfect mood, the perfect energy, the perfect environment. If you wait for those things, you will never move. Discipline is what teaches you to act regardless of how you feel. It is the decision to show up no matter what. It is the habit of saying yes to your goals and no to your excuses. It is the quiet voice inside you that says, I don't care how you feel, we're doing this anyway. You may not like that voice, but you need it. Because the truth is, life doesn't reward the ones who only move when they feel like it. Life rewards the ones who move when they don't. Think about anyone who has ever achieved greatness. They didn't get there because they were motivated every day. They got there because they were disciplined every day. An athlete doesn't train every morning because they always feel excited to run laps or lift weights. They train because their discipline demands it. A writer doesn't finish a book because they felt inspired every single day to write. They finish because discipline forced them to put words on the page even when the words felt stuck. A student doesn't graduate because motivation carried them through every late night. They graduate because discipline said, keep studying, keep working, no matter how tired you are. Motivation may start the journey, but discipline carries you to the finish line. And this is where most people fail. They chase motivation like it's fuel, thinking if they can just stay motivated long enough, they'll succeed. But the truth is, motivation is not fuel. Discipline is the fuel. Motivation is the spark that starts the fire. But if you don't keep feeding the fire with discipline, the flame dies. That's why so many people start strong in January with New Year's resolutions, full of excitement and energy, only to quit by February when the motivation fades. They built their plan on a feeling instead of a habit. Discipline doesn't fade. Discipline doesn't care what month it is, what the weather is like, or what mood you're in. Discipline shows up no matter what. It's easy to do the work when you feel good. It's easy to move forward when everything is going your way. But the moments that count the most are the moments when you don't feel like it. That's the real battlefield, the place where your destiny is shaped. Will you still show up when you're tired? Will you still give your best when no one is watching? Will you still push forward when your mind is telling you to quit? That's where discipline becomes your greatest weapon. It doesn't listen to excuses. It doesn't negotiate with weakness. It says, I will because I must. Imagine two people with the same dream. Both want to be successful. Both want to change their lives. The first one waits for motivation. They wake up and check how they feel. If they're excited, they move. If they're tired, they don't. If they're inspired, they put in the work. If they're distracted, they don't. Days turn into weeks, weeks into months, and their progress is scattered, inconsistent, unreliable. The second person chooses discipline. They wake up and move regardless of how they feel. Tired or not, they train. Inspired or not, they study. Excited or not, they build. Day after day, their effort stacks up like bricks, and eventually those bricks become a wall, a foundation, a fortress of success. Which one do you think will win in the end? It's never the one who waits for motivation. It's always the one who lives by discipline. Discipline is like a muscle. You don't build it overnight. You build it by using it, by practicing it, by pushing yourself little by little every single day. Every time you choose discipline over comfort, you strengthen it. Every time you say no to laziness, no to procrastination, no to excuses, you make discipline stronger. And over time, discipline becomes your default setting. It becomes who you are. You no longer need to ask yourself, do I feel like it? The answer doesn't matter. You move anyway. You don't need to negotiate with yourself anymore. Discipline removes the debate. It replaces hesitation with action. And here's the truth that might sting. Nobody else can give you discipline. Nobody can hand it to you. You must build it yourself. You must decide over and over again that your future matters more than your feelings, that your goals matter more than your mood, that your dream matters more than your excuses. Every time you act with discipline, you prove to yourself that you are stronger than your emotions, stronger than your doubts, stronger than the part of you that wants to quit. And that proof, that evidence, builds confidence. It tells you, if I can do it once, I can do it again. If I can do it again, I can do it always. That's how discipline transforms you. Don't misunderstand. Motivation has its place. It's wonderful when it comes. It makes the journey easier. It makes the work lighter. It fills you with energy. But you cannot depend on it. It's like waiting for the sun before you decide to get out of bed. Sometimes the sun won't shine and you have to rise anyway. Discipline is your alarm clock. Discipline is your reminder that whether you feel ready or not, today is another chance to move forward. And every step you take in discipline builds momentum. Momentum builds habits. Habits create lifestyle. Lifestyle creates destiny. There will be days you don't want to show up. There will be days you want to quit. There will be days where every part of your body screams, not today, and that is the moment you must remember. This is not about feelings. This is about discipline. This is about showing up no matter what. This is about training yourself to act, not because you feel like it, but because your future depends on it. Your dream depends on it. Your success depends on it. Discipline is the bridge between where you are and where you want to be. It is the difference between intention and achievement, and it will never fail you. Motivation will whisper, not today. Discipline will roar back, yes, today and every day. Motivation will leave when things get hard. Discipline will carry you through the storm. Motivation is fleeting. Discipline is forever. So if you want to achieve your goals, stop chasing feelings. Start building discipline. Stop waiting for the right moment. Start creating the right habits. Stop saying, I'll do it when I feel like it. Start saying, I'll do it no matter how I feel. That's how dreams are built. That's how lives are changed. That's how success is earned. Discipline beats motivation every single time. Comfort is the enemy of growth. You cannot become who you are meant to be if you stay wrapped in comfort, if you stay hidden in what is easy, safe, and familiar. Growth requires friction, it requires stretching, it requires putting yourself in situations that test you, challenge you, push you past your limits. Greatness does not live in convenience. Greatness lives outside the walls of comfort, in the unknown, in the difficult, in the uncomfortable. If you are willing to force yourself into that discomfort, to stand in the fire when it burns, to lean into the pressure when it feels unbearable, eventually that discomfort becomes your strength. Think about the very process of building muscle. You cannot build strength by lifting what is light, what does not challenge you, what your body already knows how to handle. You build strength by picking up weight that feels heavy, weight that tears at your muscles, weight that makes your body tremble. That tearing, that stress, that discomfort, that is growth in motion. Without it, your muscles remain the same. The body does not change in comfort. The same is true for your mind, your spirit, your life. If you live only inside comfort, you will remain the same. If you want to grow, you must walk willingly into discomfort. Most people spend their lives running from discomfort, designing their routines to avoid pain, staying only where it feels safe. But safe does not lead to strong. Safe does not lead to success. Safe does not lead to greatness. Every achievement you admire, every story of victory that inspires you, has one common thread. Someone was willing to be uncomfortable. Someone was willing to take the risk, to face the fear, to endure the struggle. You will never know your true capacity until you step out of comfort and face the challenges that scare you. Comfort whispers to you, stay here, don't push too hard, don't risk failure, don't put yourself out there. And if you listen long enough, comfort will trap you. It will wrap itself around you like a warm blanket, but underneath it will quietly steal your potential. It will lull you into a life of mediocrity, a life of what if, a life of regret. Discomfort, on the other hand, is harsh. It is sharp, it is unpleasant, but it is also honest. Discomfort is a mirror that shows you where you are weak, where you need to grow, where you need to change. And when you face it, when you force yourself to stay in it instead of running away, that discomfort turns into power. Imagine a student learning something new, perhaps a language or a skill. In the beginning, it feels awkward. The words don't come easily. The mistakes pile up. The frustration grows. It's uncomfortable. And that is why many quit. They say, this is too hard. I don't have the talent. This isn't for me. But the ones who stay in the discomfort, who keep stumbling forward, who keep practicing, even when it feels impossible, those are the ones who grow. And one day, the very thing that once felt uncomfortable becomes natural, easy, second nature. That is the reward of pushing through discomfort. What once weakened you now strengthens you. The same applies to your life. If you want to be a leader, you must step into the discomfort of responsibility. If you want to be wealthy, you must step into the discomfort of sacrifice, of saving, of discipline. If you want to be healthy, you must step into the discomfort of exercise, of eating clean, of denying yourself the pleasures that hold you back. Growth demands discomfort in every form, and if you avoid it, you avoid your destiny. Ask yourself, where have I been too comfortable? Where have I chosen convenience over challenge? Where have I allowed myself to stay small because stepping out felt scary? Your answers to those questions will reveal the exact areas where growth is waiting for you. And then the choice becomes clear. Either you stay comfortable and remain the same, or you step into discomfort and evolve. You cannot have both. It is natural to fear discomfort. It is natural to want to avoid it. But fear does not mean stop. Fear means go forward, because what you fear is usually the very thing that will set you free. You must rewire the way you see discomfort. Instead of treating it as an enemy, start treating it as a teacher. Every time you feel it, remind yourself, this is where growth begins. This is where strength is built. This is where I become more than I was yesterday. Think of a seed buried in the soil. For that seed to become a tree, it must break open, it must push through dirt, it must fight through darkness, it must reach toward the light. That is not a comfortable process, but without that discomfort, there is no tree, no fruit, no shade, no beauty. You are no different. The discomfort you are facing right now is not meant to destroy you, it is meant to grow you. It is meant to break you open so the stronger, greater version of you can emerge. You must learn to force yourself into discomfort. Not once, not occasionally, but as a lifestyle. Train your mind to seek challenge instead of avoiding it. Wake up earlier than feels comfortable. Work longer than feels easy. Speak up when it would be safer to stay silent. Take the leap when standing still feels secure. At first you will resist it. At first you will fight it, but eventually discomfort becomes familiar, and once it becomes familiar, it becomes strength. The athletes who train harder than anyone else, the entrepreneurs who risk rejection day after day, the artists who create even when no one applauds, these people live in discomfort. They do not wait for comfort to give them permission. They embrace the grind. They embrace the awkwardness, they embrace the struggle, and in that space, they discover power. Comfort is not evil. It has its place. We all need rest, safety, peace. But when comfort becomes your home instead of your resting place, it will keep you from ever reaching your full potential. Rest in comfort, but do not live there. Live in challenge, live in growth, live in discomfort, because that is where greatness is forged. One day you will look back at your life, and the moments you will remember most will not be the comfortable ones. You won't remember the nights you sat on the couch doing nothing. You won't remember the days you stayed safe. You will remember the moments you were terrified but acted anyway, the days you wanted to quit but pushed through, the times you faced discomfort and came out stronger. Those are the moments that will define you. So do not fear discomfort. Chase it. Step into it. Force yourself into it, because every time you do, you grow. And every time you grow, you step closer to greatness. Comfort is the enemy of growth, and if you want to achieve anything extraordinary, you must be willing to live beyond convenience. Let discomfort shape you. Let it mold you. Let it sharpen you. What once was hard will become easy. What once felt unbearable will become your strength. And when you learn to embrace discomfort, there will be nothing in this world that can stop you. Small daily victories build unstoppable momentum. It may not look like much at first. It may feel insignificant. It may even feel like you are barely moving forward. But every single time you push through resistance, every time you choose progress over comfort, every time you win those small battles, you are building something far greater than you realize. You are creating momentum, and once momentum is built, once it starts rolling, it becomes a force that is almost impossible to stop. Most people think success comes in one big leap, one massive breakthrough, one sudden opportunity. They imagine a moment when everything changes overnight. But the truth is, success is not one giant moment. Success is a collection of small moments, stacked together day after day, choice after choice, victory after victory. It's waking up early when you wanted to stay in bed. It's saying no to the distraction when temptation called your name. It's finishing the workout when your body begged you to quit. Those victories don't make headlines. They don't get applause. They don't get posted on social media. But they are the victories that matter most. Because when you win them consistently, you are teaching yourself who you are. You are proving to yourself that you are stronger than excuses, tougher than weakness, greater than resistance. Momentum is not built in the big wins, it is built in the small, hidden, ordinary wins. Think of a snowball at the top of a hill. At first it's small, barely moving. You push it, and it doesn't look like much. But as you keep rolling it, it gathers more snow, it grows bigger, it moves faster. Eventually it becomes unstoppable, thundering down the hill with a power that no one can deny. That is what your life becomes when you stack small daily victories. At first, no one notices, not even you. But eventually, the momentum you've built begins to change everything. The challenge is that resistance shows up every single day. Resistance is the voice that tells you to put it off until tomorrow. The feeling that says you don't have enough energy, the excuse that convinces you to wait until you're ready. But resistance is not there to stop you. It is there to be defeated. And every time you push through resistance, you win a battle. Every time you win that battle, you build strength. And every time you build strength, you build momentum. The truth is, most people lose to resistance not because they are weak, but because they underestimate the power of small choices. They think missing one day doesn't matter. They think skipping one workout, one study session, one act of discipline doesn't change anything. But it does. Because when you skip the small victory, you don't just lose progress, you lose momentum. And when you lose momentum, starting again becomes harder. On the other hand, when you honor those small victories, you're not just making progress, you're making it easier to win again tomorrow. Momentum works both ways. It can carry you forward or it can drag you backward. The choice is yours. Imagine a writer working on a book. If they wait for the perfect day to write 1,000 words, the book never gets finished. But if they commit to writing just a page every day, it doesn't feel like much at first. A page seems small, a page seems ordinary, a page doesn't look like success. But day after day, page after page, eventually they have a book. The daily victory of one page created unstoppable momentum. The same is true for anything you pursue. Small steps may not feel like they matter, but they matter more than anything else. Momentum is powerful because it makes discipline easier. The first time you wake up early, it's hard. The second time, still hard. The third time, a little easier. But after weeks of doing it, it becomes natural. It becomes your new normal. That is momentum at work. The resistance doesn't disappear, but it loses its grip. And soon, what was once difficult becomes automatic. That's how habits are formed. That's how discipline becomes second nature. And it all starts with small daily victories. It's important to understand that momentum doesn't just create progress, it changes your identity. Every time you win a small battle, you reinforce the story you tell yourself. When you show up every day, you begin to believe, I am the kind of person who follows through. I am the kind of person who does what I say. I am the kind of person who wins. That belief grows stronger with every victory. And eventually it becomes unshakable. That's why small victories matter so much. They are not just about the action itself. They are about the person you are becoming. Don't underestimate the power of compounding. Just as money grows when it compounds over time, your growth compounds when you stack small wins. One workout won't transform your body, but 100 will. One day of studying won't make you an expert, but 1,000 will. One choice to speak up won't change your confidence, but 100 choices will. Progress is not about what you do once, it's about what you do daily. And when you commit to daily victories, the compounding effect creates results beyond what you ever imagined. The temptation will always be to aim for the big wins, to chase the dramatic transformation, the overnight success, the massive breakthrough. But if you only focus on the big wins, you will overlook the small ones. And when you overlook the small ones, you will miss the very foundation that creates the big ones. The small victories are the bricks that build the wall. The small victories are the steps that climb the mountain. The small victories are the drops that fill the ocean. Without them, there is no greatness. You may not see results right away. That's why so many people quit. They plant the seed, but dig it up when they don't see growth in a week. But momentum works beneath the surface before it shows above the ground. You must trust that the small victories are doing their work even when you don't see it yet. Keep showing up, keep stacking wins, keep moving forward. Because the day will come when the results will be undeniable, and by then the momentum you've built will be carrying you so strongly that nothing can stop you. The beauty of momentum is that once it is built, it begins to feel easier. What once required force now feels natural. What once drained you now energizes you. What once felt impossible now feels inevitable. But that ease does not come at the beginning. It comes only after you've paid the price, after you've fought through the resistance, after you've forced yourself to win those small daily battles. Pay that price, and the reward is unstoppable momentum. So ask yourself, what small victory can I win today? Not tomorrow, not next week, not when I feel ready, today. What can I do today to push forward, to grow stronger, to defeat resistance? It doesn't have to be massive, it just has to be consistent. One more rep, one more page, one more call, one more step, and then tomorrow, do it again, and the next day, do it again. Before long, you'll look back and realize that those tiny victories carried you miles forward. Small daily victories build unstoppable momentum. Progress compounds when you consistently push through resistance. Don't wait for the big wins to validate your journey. Celebrate the small wins, honor them, commit to them, because they are the force that will carry you to greatness. Win today, and tomorrow will be easier. Win tomorrow, and the next day will be inevitable. And one day, you will realize that the unstoppable force you've become was built one small victory at a time. Your mind obeys the commands you give it. It listens carefully, every second of every day, to the words you whisper, to the thoughts you repeat, to the stories you tell yourself. And here's the truth. Your body, your actions, your habits, your entire life eventually follow the instructions your mind receives. If you tell yourself you are weak, your body will move like it is weak. If you tell yourself you are tired, your energy will drain away. If you tell yourself you cannot, you will not. But if you speak with power, if you command your mind with words of strength, faith, and determination, something shifts. Your body rises to match your words. Your habits form to align with your beliefs. Your life begins to transform, not by accident, but by design. Every great achievement begins not in the world outside, but in the world within. Long before someone runs the race, they win it in their mind. Long before someone builds the business, they build it in their thoughts. Long before someone steps on stage, they step there first in their imagination. The words you speak to yourself are not background noise, they are blueprints. They design your attitude, they shape your behavior, they create the standards you live by. If the blueprint is weak, the structure will collapse. But if the blueprint is strong, the structure will endure. The danger is that most people don't even realize how often they speak defeat into their own lives. They tell themselves, I'm not good enough, I'm too old, I'm too young, I don't have what it takes, things never work out for me. And because they say it, they believe it. Because they believe it, they live it. That's the cycle of destruction. Words create belief. Belief shapes action. Action reinforces words. And so people trap themselves, not because they lack ability, but because they poison their own minds with weak commands. But here is the good news. The cycle works both ways. Speak strength, and strength multiplies. Speak courage, and courage grows. Speak possibility, and possibility expands. Your words are not powerless, they are seeds. Plant them carefully, water them daily, and they will grow into the harvest of your life. Tell yourself, I am capable, I am resilient, I am disciplined, I am unstoppable. And even if you don't fully believe it at first, keep speaking it, because repetition creates belief. Belief fuels action, and action builds reality. Think about the way athletes train. They don't just train their bodies, they train their minds. They visualize victory. They speak affirmations. They tell themselves over and over, I can do this. I will not quit. I am the champion. Why? Because they know the mind obeys commands. If fear is in the mind, the body will hesitate. If doubt is in the mind, the body will fail. But if victory is in the mind, the body finds a way to rise. That is the difference between the one who breaks records and the one who quits at the first sign of struggle. The same is true for you. If you speak weakness, you will live weakness. If you speak excuses, you will live excuses. But if you speak power, your life will shift. Even in your hardest moments, even in your darkest seasons, you must learn to command your mind with strength. Say, I will rise, I will fight, I will not quit. I will become everything I was meant to be. Your words must become your shield, your weapon, your fuel. Don't underestimate how much your subconscious listens. It does not argue with you. It does not debate. It simply accepts. When you say, I can't, it does not ask if you are telling the truth, it believes you. When you say, I am not worthy, it accepts that as a fact, and then it shapes your emotions, your actions, your behavior to match that belief. That is why negative self-talk is so dangerous. You are programming your mind to obey the wrong orders. But just as you can program it for failure, you can program it for success. Change the command, change the outcome. When you say, I can, the mind starts searching for ways to make it true. When you say, I am strong, the body begins to draw strength. When you say, I am disciplined, your actions begin to align with discipline. The more you speak it, the more your mind believes it, the more your life reflects it. This is not about pretending. This is not about lying to yourself. This is about choosing the language that serves your growth instead of your destruction. You may not be strong yet, but if you say, I am strong, your mind starts to act in alignment with strength. You may not be disciplined yet, but if you say, I am disciplined, you begin to form habits that reflect that discipline. Over time, the words become truth. The commands become reality. The greatest battles you will ever fight are not out in the world, but in your own mind. And the weapon you wield in that battle is your voice. If you go into the fight saying, I'm already defeated, you've lost before you began. But if you go into the fight saying, I cannot be stopped, you give yourself a chance to win. What you say to yourself in private is far more powerful than what anyone else says about you in public. Speak power, speak victory, speak strength. You must be intentional about this. Monitor your self-talk. Catch yourself when you speak weakness. Replace it immediately with strength. If you hear yourself say, I can't do this, stop and correct it. I can and I will. If you hear yourself say, this is too hard, replace it. This is hard, but I am harder. If you hear yourself say, I always fail, replace it. I am learning, I am growing, I will succeed. The mind does not know the difference between truth and lies. It only knows what you repeat. Feed it strength, and it will return strength. Your life right now is a reflection of the words you have been speaking for years. If you want to change your life, you must change your words. Speak as if you are already the person you want to become. Speak as if your goals are already yours. Speak as if victory is already won, and then act in alignment with those words. Speak power into your mornings. Speak strength into your struggles. Speak discipline into your nights. Fill your inner dialogue with words that push you forward, not words that hold you back. One day, you will look back and see the difference. You will see that every habit you formed, every action you took, every success you achieved was rooted first in the commands you gave your mind. The mind obeys. The body follows. The habits align. The life transforms. And it all begins with the words you choose to speak to yourself every single day. So be careful, be intentional, be powerful. Stop feeding yourself weakness. Stop commanding failure. Stop poisoning your potential with doubt. Instead, start commanding greatness. Start speaking victory. Start programming your mind with the commands of strength, discipline, faith, and perseverance. Because when your words change, your life changes. Your mind obeys the commands you give it, so give it commands that lead to greatness. Excuses steal dreams. They come disguised as reasons, as justifications, as temporary delays. But make no mistake, every excuse you allow yourself to believe robs you of the future you could have lived. Excuses are thieves, smooth-talking liars that convince you to stay small when you were created to be great. They whisper, not today, not now, you're not ready, you don't have the resources, you don't have the time, you'll start tomorrow. But tomorrow becomes next week, next month, next year, and eventually never. And the dreams that were once alive inside of you wither away, not because you lacked talent, not because you lacked opportunity, but because you allowed excuses to negotiate away your destiny. You know what weakness sounds like? It sounds like the alarm clock in the morning and the voice in your head saying, just sleep a little longer. It sounds like the diet you swore you would start but didn't because today is stressful, tomorrow will be better. It sounds like the book you never wrote because you convinced yourself who would even read it. It sounds like the business idea you buried because you told yourself, I don't have the money or the connections. Every time you let weakness speak louder than your determination, you give away a piece of your dream. And over time, enough pieces stolen leave you empty-handed. But the moment you stop negotiating with weakness, the moment you decide you will no longer tolerate excuses, everything begins to shift. See, excuses are comfortable. They let you off the hook. They give you permission to avoid the struggle. But destiny demands sacrifice. Destiny demands discomfort. Destiny demands that you show up even when it's easier not to. The people who rise, the people who achieve, the people who fulfill their calling are not the ones who never felt weakness. They are the ones who refuse to let weakness decide for them. Think about it, every excuse feels valid in the moment. You can always find a reason not to do something, but ask yourself, do those reasons bring you closer to your vision or further away? Do they move you toward the person you want to be, or do they keep you trapped in the person you already are? Excuses never build, they only destroy. They never open doors, they only close them. They never bring you closer to destiny, they only pull you away. If you allow them, they will drain your potential until nothing is left but regret. Regret is the most painful reminder of all. Not the failure, not the setbacks, not the struggles, but the knowledge that you could have, you should have, and you didn't because you chose the excuse over the effort. Excuses feel good in the moment, but regret lingers for a lifetime. And the truth is, you cannot hold on to both excuses and dreams. You must choose. Every time you choose the excuse, you lose a piece of the dream. Every time you choose the dream, you kill a piece of the excuse. It's a war, and your future depends on which side you feed. You have to get serious about your life. Stop giving yourself options to quit. Stop letting your emotions negotiate with your commitment. Weakness will always bargain with you. Just one more day off, just one more slice of cake, just one more hour wasted scrolling. But when you stop negotiating, when you slam the door on weakness, you rise. You begin to tap into a power that's been inside you all along. Because discipline, persistence, and resilience live beneath the excuses, you just have to dig through them. It won't be easy. Excuses are seductive because they protect you from fear. They shield you from failure. If you don't try, you can't lose. If you don't step out, you can't be rejected. But you also can't win. You can't grow, you can't discover who you really are. The life you're dreaming of doesn't exist on the safe side of excuses. It exists on the hard side of courage. And courage is only born when you silence the voice of weakness and move forward anyway. Ask yourself honestly, what excuse have you been clinging to? What story have you been telling yourself that keeps you from taking action? Is it I don't have time? You have 24 hours, the same as everyone else. It's not about time. It's about priorities. Is it I don't have money? Some of the greatest empires in history started with nothing but grit and creativity. Is it I don't feel ready? You will never feel ready. Readiness is not a feeling, it's a decision. Whatever your excuse is, I promise it is not bigger than your destiny. You must flip the script. When weakness says I don't feel like it, answer back, that's why I must. When excuses say, it's too hard, answer, that's how I grow. When doubt says, what if I fail? Respond, what if I succeed? Train yourself to challenge every excuse until it collapses under the weight of your determination. Over time, this becomes habit. Excuses lose their power when you consistently refuse to give them oxygen. Think of the people you admire, the ones who inspire you. Do you think their lives were free of excuses? No. They had more excuses than you could imagine. But they didn't bow to them. They stopped negotiating. They decided their dreams were worth the sacrifice. That's what separates those who achieve from those who don't. It's not talent, not luck, not resources, but the refusal to give excuses a seat at the table. So, the choice is yours. Every day, weakness will come knocking. It will ask you to compromise. It will beg you to delay. It will try to sell you on comfort. You must decide whether you will buy what it's selling or whether you will slam the door in its face and step into your destiny. If you are waiting for the perfect conditions, they will never come. If you are waiting for motivation, it will not last. The only way forward is to cut the excuses and take relentless action. Your dream deserves better than your excuses. Your destiny deserves better than your comfort. Your future deserves better than your fear. The moment you stop negotiating with weakness, you reclaim your power. You start walking with conviction. You start moving with clarity. You start living the life you were designed to live. So the next time that voice whispers, "Take it easy, you can do it later," remind yourself later is a lie. The next time weakness says, "You can't handle it," respond, "Watch." The next time excuses try to sell you comfort, buy discomfort instead, because discomfort is the currency of destiny. Stop settling. Stop delaying. Stop believing the lies. Stand firm. Stand strong. Move forward. Because your dream is waiting. Your destiny is waiting. And the only thing standing in the way is the excuse you're still holding on to. Let it go. Kill it, burn it to the ground. And when you do, when you finally stop negotiating with weakness, you will discover a freedom, a strength, a power greater than you ever imagined. Excuses steal dreams, but when you silence them, you move with unstoppable force toward the life you were born to live. Pain is temporary, but quitting is permanent. Every time you push through the discomfort, every time you endure the struggle, every time you keep going when your body and your mind beg you to stop, you are building something far greater than relief. You are building your future. Pain does not last forever. It fades, it heals, it passes. But quitting leaves a mark that doesn't go away. Quitting etches itself into your memory, into your identity, into the way you see yourself. That is why the sacrifices you make today, the pain you are willing to endure now, become the foundation of the tomorrow you are dreaming of. Think about it. Every champion, every leader, every person who has ever accomplished something remarkable has walked through pain. The runner training for a marathon pushes through aching muscles and blistered feet. The entrepreneur sacrifices sleep, comfort, and financial security to build something from nothing. The student stays up night after night, studying until their eyes are heavy because they believe in a future their present reality does not yet reflect. Pain is part of the process. It is not the enemy. It is the evidence of growth. Without it, there is no transformation. Without it, there is no progress. What pain does is test you. It asks, how badly do you want this? How much are you willing to give? How far are you willing to go? If you run from pain, if you let it dictate your actions, you never find out what you're truly capable of. But if you face it, if you push through, you discover strength you didn't even know you had. And once you discover that strength, you carry it with you into every challenge that comes after. Pain is not permanent, but the strength it produces. Now compare that to quitting. Quitting seems easier in the moment. It promises relief. It whispers, you don't have to hurt anymore. You don't have to struggle anymore. Just stop. And for a moment it feels good. The pressure lifts, the discomfort fades. But what comes after? Regret, self-doubt, a lingering sense that you gave up on yourself. Unlike pain, quitting does not fade. It stays with you. It reminds you every time you face a challenge again. It whispers, remember the last time you quit. You didn't have what it takes. And the more you quit, the more you reinforce that identity. The more you convince yourself that giving up is who you are. But you are not a quitter. You were not created to surrender to temporary discomfort. You were created to endure, to rise, to push through until you reach the other side. Pain is not the end. It's the pathway. Every rip in the gym, every hour of study, every late night working toward your dream, every sacrifice you make today lays a brick in the foundation of your tomorrow. And the more bricks you lay, the stronger that foundation becomes. Understand this. Success is not built on comfort. It is built on sacrifice. It is built on choosing to suffer now so you can succeed later. The pain of discipline weighs ounces, but the pain of regret weighs tons. If you refuse to endure the temporary discomfort, you guarantee yourself the heavy burden of regret. But if you embrace the pain, if you see it as the cost of greatness, you will one day look back and realize it was all worth it. When you are in the middle of the pain, it feels endless. The minutes stretch, the struggle feels unbearable. But time passes, muscles heal, energy returns, wounds close. And on the other side of that pain is pride. On the other side is growth. On the other side is the realization that you survived what once felt impossible. And every time you survive, you get stronger. Every time you refuse to quit, you prove to yourself that you are more powerful than you thought. The question is not whether you will face pain. You will. The question is whether you will allow that pain to break you or build you. Will you let it drive you to quit, or will you let it forge you into someone unstoppable? Quitting gives you nothing but regret. Pushing through gives you everything you've ever wanted. So the next time pain comes, and it will, remind yourself, this will not last forever. Say it out loud if you have to. This is temporary. This is a test. And I will not quit. Breathe through it. Push through it. Keep moving, because every step you take through the pain is a step closer to your future. And every time you refuse to quit, you send a message to yourself, to your body, to your spirit. I am unbreakable. Think of the sacrifices you make today as investments. Just like money invested grows over time, effort invested multiplies into results. The hours you give, the sweat you shed, the tears you cry, they are not wasted, they are seeds planted. And one day, when you harvest the life you dreamed of, you will realize it was those moments of pain, those moments when you could have quit but didn't, that made the difference. There will be times when quitting feels easier, when you wonder if the struggle is even worth it. In those moments, remember this: pain will pass. It always does. But if you quit, you may never know what could have been. You may never discover the version of yourself waiting on the other side of perseverance. And that thought, that what if, is far heavier than any temporary pain. Your destiny requires sacrifice. Your dreams demand struggle. Your future asks for discipline. And none of it is possible without pain. But that pain is not your enemy. It's your ally. It's proof that you are growing. It's proof that you are alive, moving, becoming more. Welcome it. Embrace it. Endure it. Because every sacrifice you make today, every ounce of discomfort you choose to push through, becomes the solid ground you will stand on tomorrow. So when the pressure builds, when the struggle gets real, when you feel like you can't go another step, remind yourself, pain is temporary. It will fade. It will pass. But quitting is permanent. Quitting is forever. And you are not here to quit. You are here to conquer. You are here to push through. You are here to build a tomorrow that makes every sacrifice worth it. Don't let pain trick you into quitting. Let it shape you. Let it refine you. Let it mold you into someone unstoppable. Endure it today, and tomorrow you will thank yourself. Because pain is temporary, but quitting is a scar you carry forever. And your life, your destiny, your dreams are far too valuable to trade for something so small, so temporary, so fleeting. Keep going, keep pushing, keep building. Your future depends on it. Vision must be backed by relentless action. A dream on paper, a picture in your mind, an idea in your heart, it means nothing if it is not carried forward with discipline and work. A goal without action is like a seed never planted. It has potential, but it will never produce fruit. And a goal without discipline is just a wish. Wishes are weak. Wishes float away. Wishes give you the illusion of progress while leaving you standing in the same place. But discipline, consistency, and relentless action, those are the tools that transform vision into reality. Force is what makes it real. Everyone has vision. Everyone has a picture in their mind of a life they would love to live. The difference between the people who achieve it and the people who don't is simple: action. The achievers refuse to let their dream live only in their imagination. They write it down. They map it out. They break it into steps. And then, no matter how hard it is, no matter how inconvenient, they get up every single day and take action toward it. They don't wait until they feel motivated. They don't wait for the perfect conditions. They don't wait until someone gives them permission. They move. They push. They force themselves forward even when everything in them wants to stop. Discipline is the bridge between vision and accomplishment. Without it, you will live your whole life stuck in potential. And potential is dangerous because it makes you feel like you're on the verge of greatness while keeping you trapped in mediocrity. Potential is only valuable when it is converted into results. And the only way to convert potential into results is relentless action. Think of the countless people who dream of being fit, who see themselves healthy, strong, full of energy. That vision is clear. But when the alarm clock rings at 5 a.m., vision alone is not enough to get them out of bed. Discipline is, action is, force is. Or the person who dreams of writing a book, they have the story inside them. They see the cover in their mind, but unless they sit down every day and write, whether inspiration strikes or not, that book remains unwritten. Vision is not enough. Force makes it real. You must understand this. Action does not wait for clarity. Action creates clarity. People sit around waiting for the perfect plan, the perfect moment, the perfect feeling. But the truth is, you will never have perfect. The plan will always be incomplete. The moment will never be ideal. The feeling will never last. What separates the achievers from the dreamers is that achievers act anyway. They move with what they have. They refine as they go. They force themselves forward, and clarity comes through movement. Relentless action is not about intensity once in a while. It is about consistency over time. Anyone can work hard for a day. Anyone can be motivated for a week. But the vision you carry requires more than flashes of effort. It requires discipline that doesn't quit. It requires showing up day after day, even when progress is slow, even when results are invisible, even when no one claps for you. Relentless action means you do not stop until you reach the goal. Discipline is not glamorous. It is not exciting. It is often repetitive, boring, thankless. But it is in those moments of discipline when no one is watching, when no one is celebrating you, that greatness is built. Every time you choose discipline over distraction, you strengthen your future. Every time you choose action over excuses, you reinforce your vision. Every time you force yourself to do what is hard, you prove to yourself that you are capable of more. Force matters because resistance is inevitable. Resistance will come from within you. Your doubts, your fears, your fatigue, and from around you. The obstacles, the critics, the failures. Vision alone cannot overcome resistance. You must force yourself through it. You must decide that no matter what stands in your way, you will not stop. That kind of force builds momentum, and once momentum is on your side, nothing can stop you. Think of a rocket launching into space. The vision is to reach orbit, but vision doesn't get it off the ground. Force does. Tremendous force, pushing against gravity, pushing against resistance, until it finally breaks free. Your goals are the same. Gravity will pull you down. Life will resist you, but if you back your vision with relentless force, you will break through. And once you do, you will move faster, lighter, freer. Do not confuse wishing with working. Wishing waits for life to change. Working changes life. Wishing leaves you powerless. Working puts power in your hands. A wish says, I hope. A disciplined action says, I will. Which one do you think creates results? Which one do you think builds the future you want? You must be ruthless with your excuses, ruthless with your comfort, ruthless with your weakness. If your vision truly matters to you, if your goal is truly worth it, you must stop treating it like an option and start treating it like a mandate. You cannot try to achieve it. You must commit to achieving it. You must chain yourself to the discipline that brings it to life, because discipline doesn't care about moods. It doesn't care about feelings. It doesn't care if you're tired. Discipline says, "This must be done, so I will do it." And here is the reward. Every action compounds. One disciplined day leads to another. One completed task creates momentum for the next. Over time, relentless action transforms vision into reality. You look back and realize the goal that once seemed impossible is now your life, not because you wished for it, but because you forced it into existence. So ask yourself, what vision do you carry? What dream burns inside you? And then ask yourself honestly, are you backing it with relentless action, or are you just wishing? Because if you are only wishing, you will stay where you are. But if you are acting, if you are forcing yourself forward, the day will come when the dream in your head becomes the life in your hands. Vision without action is a lie. Vision without discipline is an illusion. Vision without force is a fantasy. But vision backed by relentless, disciplined, daily action, that is unstoppable. That is how greatness is built. That is how you take the invisible and make it visible. That is how you take what exists only in your mind and turn it into something the world can see. So stop waiting. Stop wishing. Stop talking. Start doing. Back your vision with force and keep pushing until what you once dreamed of is standing right in front of you. A goal without discipline is just a wish. Force makes it real. Success is self-created. It does not arrive as a gift. It is not handed to you by luck, by circumstance, or by the generosity of others. Success is built brick by brick, choice by choice, action by action. No one else will hand it to you. No one else will carry you to the top. If you are waiting for someone to save you, if you are waiting for someone to open all the doors, you will be waiting forever. The truth is, you must push, you must grind, you must force yourself to achieve it. That is the only way success is born, through effort, persistence, and the refusal to quit. Look at the people who have achieved great things. Their success was not accidental. It was not a stroke of luck. It was not because someone came along and gave them everything. They created it. They put in the hours no one saw. They worked through the nights when others slept. They showed up when others quit. They sacrificed comfort. They endured rejection. They faced failures that would have broken weaker people. But instead of breaking, they kept building. They kept pushing. They kept forcing their way forward until their vision became their reality. The world does not owe you success. It does not owe you recognition, wealth, health, or happiness. That is your responsibility. Success is earned, not given, and if you want it, you must take ownership of your life. That means no more blaming circumstances, no more pointing fingers, no more waiting for opportunity. You must create the opportunity. You must take what you have, however little it may seem, and use it as fuel to build the life you want. The grind is not glamorous. It is often lonely. It is often filled with sacrifice. But it is in that grind that character is forged. It is in the grind that discipline is built. It is in the grind that success takes shape. Every rip at the gym, every page you write, every call you make, every step you take when no one is watching is a piece of the success you are building. And though no one may see it now, one day they will see the results and call it success. But you will know the truth that it was built in silence, through force, through effort, through self-creation. There will be people who tell you it cannot be done. They will doubt you, mock you, discourage you, but remember, it is not their responsibility to believe in your dream. It is yours. No one else can carry that vision for you. No one else can walk that path for you. Success is self-created, which means you cannot depend on anyone else to hand it to you. You must carry your own weight. You must fight your own battles. And you must rise even when the world expects you to fall. The moment you take full responsibility for your success is the moment your life begins to change. As long as you believe that someone else is holding the keys to your future, you will remain powerless. But when you understand that success lies in your grind, in your discipline, in your persistence, you take back control. You stop waiting for life to happen, and you start making life happen. You stop hoping for opportunity, and you start creating it. Push, grind, force yourself. That is the formula. Push when you don't feel like it. Grind when the results are invisible. Force yourself when every part of you wants to quit. Success does not come to those who wait. It comes to those who refuse to give up. It comes to those who keep going when others surrender. It comes to those who see obstacles as stepping stones and failures as lessons. Do not misunderstand. Success is not easy. If it were, everyone would have it. Success demands a price. It demands sacrifice. It demands long nights, early mornings, and days filled with work most people are unwilling to do. But that is the point. Success separates those who want it from those who kind of want it. If you only kind of want it, you will quit when it gets hard. If you truly want it, you will endure whatever it takes. And in the end, success belongs to those who refuse to stop. Every dream has a cost. The question is not whether success is possible, it is whether you are willing to pay that cost. Will you pay with your time? Will you pay with your energy? Will you pay with your comfort? Will you pay with your sacrifices? Because success does not accept cheap payments. It demands full commitment. And only those who are willing to pay the full price will ever hold it in their hands. Understand this. Success is not about chance. It is about choice. You choose discipline. You choose persistence. You choose to keep going when it hurts. And those choices, repeated daily, create success. It may take years, it may take decades, but the grind always pays off. The discipline always bears fruit. The sacrifices always build a foundation strong enough to hold the life you dreamed of. And when you finally stand on that foundation, when you finally look back and see what you have built, you will realize the power of self-creation. You will know that no one gave it to you. You earned it. You built it. You forced it into existence through your own sweat, your own tears, your own willpower. And that pride, that fulfillment, is worth more than anything handed to you for free. So stop waiting for someone to hand you success. Stop waiting for luck, for timing, for miracles. Get up and create it. Push yourself harder than you ever thought possible. Grind day after day, even when it feels like nothing is happening. Force yourself to keep going when your body is tired and your mind is weary, because success is not waiting around the corner. It is being built by your actions today. The truth is simple. No one is coming to save you. No one is coming to hand you the life you want. No one is coming to carry you to the top. That is your job. And the sooner you accept that, the sooner you stop expecting someone else to create your success, the sooner you will begin to create it for yourself. Success is self-created. And if you want it, you must push, you must grind, you must force yourself until you achieve it. So the choice is yours. You can wait, you can wish, you can hope, or you can work, you can sacrifice, you can force your vision into reality. Success will not knock on your door. You must go out and build it. You must claim it. You must create it. And when you do, when you finally achieve it, you will know that nothing and no one can take it away from you because you built it with your own hands, your own heart, your own unbreakable will. Success is never given, it is built. Every achievement you see in this world, every towering building, every breakthrough invention, every athlete at the peak of their game, every entrepreneur who transformed a small idea into an empire, they all share one truth in common. It was not handed to them. It was not delivered on a silver platter. It was built with discipline, with sacrifice, with relentless action. And that's the hard reality many people don't want to face. Too many are waiting for life to give them a break, waiting for someone to open a door, waiting for luck to sweep them off their feet and carry them into success. But life does not work that way. Success does not knock politely at your door and say, "Here I am." No, success is built by your hands, your sweat, your choices, your persistence. Think about it. The stories we admire, the legends we talk about, none of them are tales of people who sat back and waited for fortune to fall into their laps. They are stories of people who refused to wait, people who pushed, people who got up early, stayed up late, and worked when no one was watching. They built their success brick by brick, day by day. That's why it lasts, because when you build something with your own effort, it becomes unshakable. Discipline is the cornerstone. Without discipline, success crumbles before it even begins. Talent is useless without discipline. Ambition is wasted without discipline. You may feel motivated today, but motivation is a flame that burns quick and fades fast. Discipline is the steady fire that keeps burning no matter how tired you are, no matter how uninspired you feel, no matter how much you want to quit. Discipline is waking up when the alarm goes off and not hitting snooze. Discipline is going to the gym when your body aches. Discipline is staying focused on your work while distractions tempt you. Discipline is doing what you said you would do long after the excitement has faded. Every achievement you want rests on this foundation. Without it, you will never build anything lasting. Sacrifice is the price. You cannot have success without giving something up. If you want to climb higher, you must let go of what weighs you down. That might mean less time with comfort and more time with effort. It might mean fewer late nights of fun and more early mornings of focus. It might mean giving up excuses, laziness, or the endless chase of entertainment that steals your time. Success demands a price, and it always asks, what are you willing to give up for what you want? Those who sacrifice comfort build strength. Those who sacrifice excuses build progress. Those who sacrifice distraction build focus. Every sacrifice you make is an investment into your future, and one day those investments will pay dividends greater than anything you imagine. Relentless action is the engine. You cannot build success by wishing, by hoping, by waiting. Success belongs to those who act. Even small actions repeated daily compound into great achievements. Write 1 page a day, and in a year you have a book. Save a little every month, and in years you build wealth. Train consistently, and over time your body transforms. Action is what turns dreams into reality. Too many people dream without moving, and their dreams die with them. But those who act, those who take relentless steps forward, even when small, even when imperfect, they are the ones who build. Action is louder than intention, louder than desire, louder than any excuse. You must create it. That's the truth that sets you free and challenges you at the same time. No one is coming to hand you your goals. No one is coming to give you the life you want. You have to create it. And that means taking full ownership of where you are and where you're going. It means no more blaming circumstances, no more pointing fingers, no more waiting for the right moment. The right moment is now, and the right person is you. Every single day you wake up with the tools to build success. Your time, your choices, your discipline, your effort, how you use them determines everything. Yes, the path will be hard. Yes, there will be obstacles. Yes, you will fail along the way. But failure is not the end. It's part of the building process. Every brick of failure becomes part of the wall of success if you keep going. Every mistake teaches you, sharpens you, prepares you. The only true failure is quitting, and quitting is easy for those who expect success to be given. Builders, however, understand that setbacks are just steps. They keep building even when the storm knocks down their progress. They rebuild stronger. That is the mindset you must adopt if you truly want to create success. Think about the legacy you want to leave. Do you want to be remembered as someone who waited for chances or someone who created them? Do you want to be remembered as someone who depended on luck or someone who carved their own path? Success that is handed to you can be taken away. Success you build can never be stolen because it lives within you, forged in your discipline, your sacrifice, your relentless action. Look at your life right now. Everything you have, everything you are, is a reflection of what you've built up until this point. If you want more, if you want greater, you must build more, you must build greater. It will not be given. But that is the beauty of it. It means you are in control. It means you hold the power. It means that with enough effort, enough sacrifice, enough relentless action, you can shape your life into anything you desire. That is the gift of responsibility, the gift of self-creation. So stop waiting, stop wishing, stop expecting, begin building. Lay 1 brick today, lay another tomorrow. Stack them higher, Push them further. Build with discipline. Build with sacrifice. Build with relentless action. And one day, you will stand before the structure of your success, proud, strong, unshakable, knowing that you did it. No one gave it to you. No one handed it to you. You built it. And that kind of success, the kind you create with your own hands, lasts forever. Excuses are dream killers. They are silent thieves that rob you of progress, of potential, of the greatness that is meant for you. Every time you make an excuse, you hand over a piece of your dream. Every time you tell yourself, not today, I'll start tomorrow, I don't have the resources, I'm too tired, you are cutting off your own future. Excuses feel comfortable, they feel protective, they make you feel justified in your lack of action. But in reality, they are chains, holding you back from the very life you say you want. The moment you stop negotiating with weakness and start taking full responsibility, something powerful happens. You unlock the power to shape your destiny. Responsibility is freedom. As long as you make excuses, you place your power outside of yourself. You tell yourself the reason you haven't achieved is because of circumstances, because of people, because of timing, and the more you believe those lies, the less control you have. But when you take full responsibility, when you say, no matter what, it's on me, suddenly you take back the power. Now you are no longer a victim. You are the builder of your own destiny. Excuses have many disguises. They show up as procrastination, as fear, as perfectionism, as doubt. They whisper, wait until you're ready, or you don't have enough time, or what if you fail? And the tragedy is, if you listen long enough, you'll never move. You'll look back years from now and realize you were standing in the same place, holding the same dream, because you allowed excuses to anchor you down. But when you confront them, when you strip them of their power, you realize they are nothing but illusions. They only live if you let them live. Responsibility demands honesty. It requires you to face yourself in the mirror and say, if I'm not where I want to be, it's not because the world conspired against me, it's because I haven't done everything I could. That's a hard truth to swallow, but it's the truth that sets you free. Because the moment you accept it, you realize you are not helpless. You realize you can change, you can grow, you can fight, you can win. You don't have to wait for the perfect conditions. You don't have to wait for permission. You don't have to wait for someone to rescue you. You hold the power, and that power is activated the moment you take full responsibility. Think of all the dreams buried in the graveyard, never brought to life because someone made too many excuses. Think of all the books unwritten, the businesses unbuilt, the songs unsung, the inventions undiscovered, because excuses spoke louder than action. Now think of all the greatness that did come alive in the world, and you'll see a common thread. Those people stopped making excuses. They refused to listen to their fears. They refused to let limitations define them. They took responsibility and acted. That's why they succeeded. Weakness will always negotiate. It will bargain with you, offering you comfort in exchange for your potential. It will tell you to rest instead of work, to settle instead of strive, to hide instead of shine. And the more you negotiate with weakness, the more you lose. You cannot make deals with weakness. You must silence it. You must decide once and for all that your dream matters more than your comfort, that your destiny matters more than your excuses. Taking full responsibility doesn't mean you control everything. Life will still throw obstacles in your path. You will face rejection, setbacks, and challenges. But responsibility means you don't let those obstacles define you. You don't point to them as the reason for failure. Instead, you use them as fuel. You say, yes, this is hard, but it's my job to overcome it. Responsibility shifts your mindset from powerless to powerful, from stuck to unstoppable. When you stop making excuses, you begin to move. Action replaces hesitation. Progress replaces stagnation. Confidence replaces doubt. Every step forward builds momentum, and that momentum becomes unstoppable. But it all starts with one decision. No more excuses. Excuses may comfort you for a moment, but they will haunt you forever. Action may scare you at first, but it will reward you forever. Your destiny is waiting. It is not waiting for better circumstances or better timing. It is waiting for you to take full responsibility and step into it. Excuses will kill your dream before it even breathes. Responsibility will give it life. Every day you choose, do you want the temporary comfort of excuses or the lasting reward of destiny? So stop negotiating with weakness. Stop feeding the lies that tell you it's okay to wait, to delay, to shrink back. Decide today that your dream is worth more than any excuse. Decide today that no matter the challenge, no matter the setback, you will own it, you will fight through it, and you will keep moving. Excuses are dream killers, but responsibility is a dream builder. And when you take full responsibility, you unlock the power to shape your destiny, to create the life you were meant to live, and to leave behind a legacy that no excuse could ever steal.